Benjamin Bannaker. Name of the book. (90078). 2.6 level. If you have an AR test, you could take it. Turn the page and let's see. It's written by O.G. Smedley. Print on the pictures are by Andrea Kantrowitz. Turn the page. Before we read it though, I want to ask you some questions. What was Benjamin's father's? What was he? How did Ben tell time? And what did Benjamin make? Who needed a surveyor to help mark the land? And what do you call a book that tells about weather and stars? Now read it with me. Benjamin Bannaker's father was born a slave. His master set him free, so Benjamin was born free. Ben loved to count. At first, his father helped him count. Soon, Ben could count by himself. He also liked to learn how things worked. The woman who taught Ben to read was his grandmother. His grandmother taught him to read. How about that? And on this page, remember, what was Benjamin's father? What was he? Let's turn to the next page. Ben and his family lived on a farm. Look at the farm. They all worked very hard, and the days went by quickly. Ben counted the days so he could tell which month it was. Ben did not have a watch or a clock. Hear that? He had only one way to tell time. He found out by looking at the sun. There's one of those questions answered. Page 5. Ben very much wanted to learn how a watch worked. One day he saw a gold watch. The man who owned the watch lent it to Ben. Then Ben took it home to find out how it worked. Ooh, he took it. Look at the picture. He took it apart. That's got to be hard, right? Ben saw where each part should go. Then he took the watch apart. He drew each part. Ben put the parts back together and then returned the watch. Page 7. Ben wanted to make his own watch, but he did not have the right parts. But he did have a good idea. The next day, Ben went to look for wood. He found some on the ground. Ben had decided to use the wood to make parts for his watch. Page 8. Making the parts he needed was hard work. It took a long time to make each one. He got some small pieces of brass and iron. Then he put them with his wood parts. Brass and iron and wood is what he made his clock with. And look, 2 years went by as Ben worked. 2 years to make a clock. The parts were ready, and Ben put them together at last. He had made his own clock out of wood. It had a loud bell. Everyone came to hear it. All the boys and girls wanted a clock too. So what did Ben make? Turn the page. Page 10. Nice picture someone painted. Ben kept on working on the farm. He never stopped learning about how things worked. Many years later, Ben met Major Andrew Ellicott. Ellicott was a surveyor. A surveyor looks at pieces of land that people own. Then he or she tells them where their land begins and ends. Surveyors have to know about numbers and math. They also use the stars in their work. Ben liked finding out about the stars and the other things he saw in the sky. Maybe Ben could be a surveyor. Look at that. At this time, President Washington, look at there's President Washington. He wanted to build a new capital for our country. He needed a surveyor to help mark off the land. He chose Ben. So who needed a surveyor? Benjamin rode his horse to meet with the president and then started his work. Ben used the stars to decide where the center of the new city would be. He put marks on the ground and worked hard for many months. President Washington was proud of him. He worked for months on this project. To make a clock, it took him 2 years. Turn the page. At home, Ben wanted to write about some of the things he learned. He wrote his first almanac. An almanac is a book that tells about the weather. It also tells about the stars. Almanacs also have poems and stories. Ben wrote 6 almanacs. Everyone in town enjoyed them very much. What do you call a book that tells about weather and the stars? Well, he's holding one right there, right? Turn the page. Page 16. Benjamin Bannaker was a very smart and important man. He made a great clock. What did he make? He helped make the capital of our country. Nice work, Ben. You might want to work with a friend and make an almanac. Write about things, maybe jokes and poems, and share your almanac with someone. Good luck on your AR test.